noticed that too.
Oh, you did?
Yesterday we talked about it,
Okay, we're here at the Java Hut.
Yeah.
Java the Hut here in Canal Street. And we're with Jose Bugsy Martinez. And then we're also with Will the Brown Bomber Santiago. And I just wanted to take a little time to talk to you guys about your upcoming fight. This is Jimmy from Team Cater, and this is our first kind of official interview. Team Cater is a fan site, and I think a lot of our fans would like to hear what you guys have to say. So let's start off with you, Will, if that's okay. Do you go by Will or Brown Bomber or?
Well, it doesn't really matter. Will,
okay.
Brown Bomber, Santiago,
Will, okay, Will.
Comfortable with.
Okay. I wouldn't want to use what he calls you.
No.
Okay. That's cool.
We
That's
play
cool.
around a lot.
Yeah, I don't want to go that way because I don't know what's going to happen to me. So. Okay. How did you get into fighting?
Well, it all started when I was a kid.
Okay.
You know, my mom. I have a famous cousin that was a world, actually, light heavyweight. No, he was my cousin. Light heavyweight champion in the boxing world. And when I was a kid, my mom used to always tell me stories about him, and to the point where I wanted to become a fighter, and I wanted to be just
Right. Okay. So how old were you then?
I say I must have been like, I say around 6 or 7. She started telling me the story.
6 or 7. Wow. Started fighting at 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So what were those fights like?
Well, they were, to be honest with you, they weren't professional or anything like that. They were like more of a, you know, street fights. Stuff like that. So, you know, it started that way, and then.
So street fights, what were they like when you're 6 or 7? What year is this now?
Wow, this must have been, let me say, 27 now. This must have been like around, like in the early 90s.
Early 90s. Wow. So where did you live?
Well, I was born and raised in Lawrence.
Okay.
At that, around this time when this happened, I lived in, wow, I lived so many places in Lawrence, but I'd say Beacon Projects.
Beacon Projects, okay. What was it like growing up there?
Well, it was kind of tough, but you know, it wasn't normal for a kid my age to be living that lifestyle. But you know, it was you know, come from a broken home, so you know.
Right. So how did your first fight start? I mean, what was it over? Like a Tonka truck or something?
Something like that. It was, you know, being
something
kids,
stupid.
you know, being stupid. Just, you know, I just wanted to, you know, I had a lot of anger inside of me, and the only best way I felt was to, you know, act out on it. Without really thinking about it.
Okay.
And as I look back now, you know what I mean? You know, while you're in the moment, I never really thought about it like this, but I guess now I look back at it.
You feel better now, less anger?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've done a lot of work.
Okay.
I've done a lot of work and working on my issues and stuff like that. So.
Okay. So a little anger management?
Yeah.
Like that movie?
Yeah.
Anger management.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, let's see here. So what would you say, I mean, your first street fight that happened, you know, maybe early teens or late teens when the fight started to get a little bit more violent and more at stake, you know, and other weapons are being used. I mean, when your first street fight, you know, like, in that area, like a serious thing going on?
Well, you know, it all started, you know, like I said, you know, I grew up in Lawrence. It's you know, it's been rough all my life, you know, coming coming from a broken home and all that stuff. It all started for me like really deep. It was, you know, a real close relative of mine, which was my nephew at the time. You know, he got caught up. His name is Louis LeBron, and
Louis LeBron.
Louis LeBron, yeah. We grew up. He was more like my brother instead of it was like a brother relationship. It wasn't more like an uncle and nephew type thing.
Okay.
He was older than me a lot. He was 3 years older than me.
Okay.
So it was like his little uncle. But he ended up passing away to the streets.
Really? Wow.
To the street.
How old was he?
At the time, he was 15 when he passed away.
Wow. A street, you know, gunfight.
Yes.
Okay. How old were you then?
At that time, I was 12 years old.
Wow. So like your big brother gets
it's taken away from me.
Wow. So was that the source of anger, just dumb stuff like that?
Yeah, well, when that happened, I looked at myself and I started to question, if I was loved by God, why would He take away my best friend?
Right.
So I never really had the understanding of why he left, why he was taken away from me at such a young age. So by then, not only myself but my whole family, like we all went downhill after that. Like
really,
wow. You know, everything was like, for me, I can speak personally for myself. It just turned into the street.
Wow.
It turned to the streets. Like I felt, I felt neglected and abandoned in a way that I felt I couldn't express myself to people in my family. So I turned to the streets.
I got you. Okay, so the first street fight, I mean, what happened? I mean, when it was, your situation, someone trying to do something to you.
Well, it was just like, it was like I get you before you get me.
Okay,
I never really let it get to the point where I felt like you was gonna get me before I got you.
Okay,
so,
I got you.
It became
it's
that.
Chicken. It's like game of chicken.
Exactly. It became that hustle of survival for me. It was just like everything in my life.
You got that look. People know you got the look.
Yeah.
That you're not gonna take any shit and don't even try.
Exactly.
Yep. So that kind of, when do you think you started having that look?
Well, like I said, all my life, I had come from a big family.
Yep.
And I
How many brothers and sisters?
8 brothers and 4 sisters. I have 5 sisters, but my sister, one of my sisters passed away when I was a baby.
Wow, sorry to hear that.
It's okay. And then from there, like I said, my whole thing was to become like my brothers. So my brothers were into gangs and into the street life.
Right.
So I grew up seeing that. So that's who I wanted to become. And soon after,
15.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So soon after my nephew passed away, like I say within a year after that, I got I got into a gang, and that's
what
when.
Gang? Can you say?
I'd rather.
No problem. I don't mean to push you on that.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
So just a gang, part of the gang violence in the Lawrence area, and just kind of. Okay.
And then from there, it just became pretty much gun ho. Whatever I saw, whoever I saw, what I liked, it became mine.
Right. Okay.
It was just like no questions asked. Like I said, I grew up with nothing, so whatever I felt I liked on anybody, it didn't matter who it was. If I seen what you had and I liked it, I'm gonna take it off you.
Right.
And that was the way it all, And then my gang, it was a small group of us, but we had heart, and we just went all out and to do whatever.
Right. How many people in the gang?
I say around that time it was about 20, 30 of us.
20, 30, and this was in the early 90s?
Around this time, I say like mid-90s now.
Okay. And you were about 18 by then?
No, I was the youngest one out of all of them. I was, like I said, I started from 12, right after my nephew passed away. Right
12, you went right to the street at 12?
Yes,
oh,
12, 13,
wow.
I became part of a gang, and I was ripping and running at 13, 14, 15 years old.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay.
How do you want it cooked?
Let you get some water there. So what do you think makes you a good candidate for the Ultimate Fighter?
Well, like I said, I always say, my goal since I was a kid was to become a fighter, and I've always been athletic. If it wasn't for the street life getting a hold of me, I think I would have been either a football player, something, because I've always been a good athlete, and whatever I do, I can do something for a month or two and get better than people that have been doing it for years. I just have that
fast learner, natural ability. Okay.
Yeah, I just have that gift for some reason.
Okay. And that gift helped on the street because you were bigger and stronger and more intimidating than everybody else.
Exactly.
I noticed the intimidation when I saw you take your shirt off that day. I just wanted to kind of crawl in the corner and die. Damn, I got to do some sit-ups. All right. Okay, if you met Dana White, what would you say to him?
My main thing was it would be a pleasure to meet you. And I would just be like, I'm the type of person that I don't like to talk. I'm the type of person that I don't like to talk. I like to show. So I would actually invite him to one of my fights.
Right.
It was just to ask him, hey, come see one of my fights, and hope my work ethic proves itself. You know what I mean? Just don't turn a blind eye. You know what I mean? Take a look at me and give me a shot. In other words.
Okay, cool. And if he says, I've got 1,000 people trying to get in this position, why should I pick you?
Because believe it or not, I stand out. I know how to, I'm an aggressive fighter. My personality speaks for itself, and I'm just a good, humble person that everybody in the world would love to come and see me fight.
Right on. Okay, we're gonna take a little break, just chill for a second.